Welcome to A Dummy Does Sourdough, start to finish. My first video, I made a sourdough bread, but my brother asked me, well, I don't have a starter. So I watched a video about a gentleman who moved from his kitchen and lost his starter and all his baking equipment and made sourdough bread start to finish with only some basic cooking utensils. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to try to emulate his process and see if we can come up with a similar product. We're going to turn flour, water, and salt into some delicious bread using some basic cooking equipment. Alright, so step one, make your sourdough starter. I have a Classico can here that you get some tomato sauce at the supermarket. We'll see if this is going to work. Alright, so I'm going to try to add half a cup of flour to my jar and about a third of a cup of water. I'll mix that all together until I have a paste that's somewhat thicker than pancake batter. Well, there we go. Now we just let that sit for a day. So we'll see you tomorrow. Alright, so day two, we got our sourdough starter. You can kind of see it right there, maybe. It's gotten a lot of bubbles in it. Now we're just going to mix some flour and water in there, add to it, feed it, and let it sit for another day. Day three. It's starting to smell like something. I don't know if it's good. A bit vinegary. And we've got a layer of, I believe it's called hooch, in between. But I am a bit concerned that maybe it's gone bad, but we're going to add some flour and water and keep going. See what happens. Okay, so, oh geez, I lost it. So, this starter has barely done anything since I fed it this morning. It's now 9 o'clock, so it's been about 12 hours. And it still has this vinegary smell, which to me sounds like it needs to be fed. So, I'm going to separate it into this jar here. Basically, I just got a jar from the dollar store. It's $2.50. You can see that. So I'm going to zoom in. There you go. It's got a clasp lid, and I've taken off the clasp so that we just have a nice heavy glass lid to place on top with a rubber seal. So if the air pressure builds up while it's in there, it'll just lift the lid without me having to actually like screw anything on or seal it. That's the theory anyway. So I'm just going to guesstimate here, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to mix it up. So, I've mixed up my sort of new, this is sort of what I'm going to be using from now on. And then I've got my old can, my old jar that I just sort of fed it again just to see how it does. Already I am much happier using this jar because it's got a way wider lip and I can actually mix it without having to put my hand right into the jar. It's just way easier. So if you have a wide brimmed jar, highly recommend it over this narrow brimmed classical jar. All right, so we're gonna now feed this twice a day. So I'm gonna feed it at 9 o'clock this morning or tomorrow morning, and then 9 o'clock in the evening, and I'll see how it does. Day 4. Day 4. See the bubbles in there. Just gonna feed it, wait 9 hours. Alright, so it's 9 o'clock in the night on day 4, and I'm about to feed my starters, but I have 2 here. Now this is the same one that I've been working on. I just put some of it in this jar here because it was easier to mix. So I'm gonna empty these out, make a pancake, and then feed them. So let's do that. All right, so day 4 feed, nighttime feed. So it's the afternoon of the 5th day, and normally I'd feed my starters in the morning, but they were so full that I kind of waited a little bit. As you can see here, maybe it went all the way to the top. So we're going to dump some of this out. Well, not throw it out, but we're going to make a little pancake with it and then feed them like I normally do. And this first one that we've had went all the way to the top. Not quite on the lid, but you can see it's right up there. And it's kind of lost that vinegary smell, which I'm really happy about.
You want to look out the window? You want to watch the world? Oh, let's see. He broke his leg.
Are you cutting a pizza?
We're cutting your, well, I mean, it's kind of like a pizza, yeah.
It's a cutting pizza. It's a pizza pancake.
Yeah.
Yummy pizza pancake.
All right, day 5, afternoon feeding. It's around 12:30. So this is day 6 of sourdough starter. My starters exploded. As you can see, they're coming out over the top. It's all spilled all over my all over my fridge. Gross. Look at that. And then now it's down to there. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy. So I'm going to clean these up, give them a feed, probably empty some of the contents out. And yeah, thought I'd share that with you. I also think I just made a no salt loaf. So definitely something a dummy would do. Oh, so morning of the 7th day, we have our starters here, and we're gonna try making some bread with them. I definitely like the wide jar for the starters, and I definitely think the environment that you keep them in really affects how they do. One day I made soup and the starters exploded, and then the next day I didn't really do a lot and I didn't do anything. Yesterday they didn't really, they rose up and then they just went down pretty standard. So yeah, hopefully this works out. All right, I'll be separating them out. This one especially into a clean jar. And we're going to give them a good feed, and then we're going to make some sourdough bread.